What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caden, or Cantina Comics, and today we're going to be ranking every single live-action Punisher and all of their suits that we've gotten throughout the years. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers by the time that Spider-Man Brand New Day releases in the theaters. But without further ado, let's start off in last place with Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. This movie had come out in the 80s, and for some reason, they were too big of cowards to put the skull on the shirt. Frank does not have a skull at all anywhere throughout this entire film. So much so to where a VFX artist went in and digitally added it in, and it looks so much better. I don't know why they were afraid to do it, especially with it being the 80s. If there was a time and a place to get away with it and to do it, it was then, not now. It's just a little weird that they just totally disregarded that fact, and it also was not very faithful to the comics in any regard. That seems to kind of be a trend here with a couple of these films, but it was our first Punisher, so I'll take it. Moving on to the next spot, we have Ray Stevenson's Punisher from Punisher Warzone. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, you are missed. This was without a doubt the most brutal we've ever seen the Punisher on screen. This movie was absolute chaos, and his suit was really good. I really like it. It felt way more armored and more like SWAT gear than anything else. This was the most gruesome I think we've ever seen the Punisher, and still to this day I don't think has really been topped. There's not really a whole much to say. This is just a black tactical suit with the skull on the chest. It looks great. Jigsaw also in this movie looked great.
Nice shooter!
Alrighty, moving on to Thomas Jane's Punisher. We have two suits to talk about. It's kind of the same one, but I'm gonna count it as two different ones. And that being his trench coat look that we saw throughout the beginning of the movie, and then towards the end where we see him without the trench coat with the actual body armor with the skull. Both of these look great, and also we gotta talk about the 1911s, both having the skulls on them. These were sick. I wish we'd get a little bit more of this in the MCU. Thomas Jane's Punisher, without a doubt, is one of the best adaptations we've gotten. Once again, like the rest of these, it isn't totally accurate, but he's a goddamn great Punisher, and I love him. Alrighty, now moving on to Jon Bernthal, we have 7 suits here. There probably is more, but I'm being very selective with these. The first one being where he ambushes all the guys in him and Micro's lair from Punisher Season 1. This look for him was sick. It was very short-lived, but I'm glad we got it. And now moving on, we have his appearance in Daredevil Season 2. Specifically, when he leaves his house and ends up blowing it up, and he has the minigun with the trench coat. This is one of my favorite looks for Jon Bernthal, and it's a shame we barely got to see this look. I think we saw it a handful of times after this. Now moving on to his look in Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Jon Bernthal, I don't really think has a whole lot of bad Punisher suits. They all kind of just look roughly the same, but this one is pretty cool, and also we got to team up with him in Daredevil, so that's gonna give us some brownie points as well. I know I'm biased, it is what it is. Now we're gonna go on to his suit from Punisher Season 2, and this is gonna be the suit that he has at the very end, where he says, "I'll dance with you."
I'll dance with you.
Everything that I love about the Punisher is in this suit, and it looks great. Down to the trench coat, to the skull, to both of his ARs. Like, it just, yeah, it's awesome. I wish we got to stick with this suit for the entirety of his run in the MCU up until now. Next, we have the final suit that we see in the Punisher One Last Kill special presentation that just came out in Disney+. It's great, by the way. Go ahead and watch it. I like a lot of things about this suit, but there's also some things that turn me off of it, and that being the Punisher has a fresh fade, and he has a beard. I don't like both of these looks for him. I do like his normal hairstyle that he had throughout Season 1 and Season 2, but I will say him having the fade along with like the groomed beard, it also looks like they dyed his hair to get rid of any gray hairs. It just looks a little too put together for Jon Bernthal's Punisher, in my opinion, but I like the skull, I like the suit. I also love that his knife goes right into the teeth of the skull itself. That's pretty sick. And also too, him having the tomahawk on his back, I gotta love it. Second to last, we have his new look from Spider-Man Brand New Day. So far in the trailers, it hasn't wowed me just yet. His skull looks very odd here, and honestly that's because China doesn't allow skulls in any of their marketing or stuff when it comes to distributing movies, so they have to tone it down a lot, and that's why it looks the way it does. It looks more like the anti-vigilante task force skulls that we saw in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, but I will say though, it is a pretty nice looking suit. And now finally, we have his suit from Punisher One Last Kill once again, but this is his suit in the flashbacks whenever we see him acting as the Punisher killing the Nushi crime family. This should have been his suit that he got at the end of the special. This is literally the perfect Punisher suit that we've ever gotten, and it's a shame that we're probably not going to see it again. I really hope we get a second special with him and get to see more of this, because it is literally perfect. But that is my ranking for all the live action Punishers and their suits. I do love almost every single one of these Punisher actors and their movies themselves. Minus Dolph Lundgren. He's a great actor, but not a great Punisher. I could watch any of these films right now and be hooked, and that's how you know that this character is pretty great, because no matter how many times he's told throughout media, he usually is done pretty fucking well. Well, all being said, I'd love to hear your lists in the comments down below. Go ahead and drop them. It's been Caden, or Cantina Comics, and I will see you all in the next one.